Hello everybody, I am Wiggle and I am back with another video. This week is part 2 of the ranking all heroes from most fun to least fun. So again, this is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, I recommend going watching part 1, because this will not start from 1, this will start from 12. We're going to go from 12 to 22 in this video. And if you would like to see part 1, because it would be a lot less confusing, that's going to be in the top right corner right now. And also, just one more thing before we get the video underway. I saw that 58% of you guys who watch these videos aren't even subscribed. So if you do find yourself enjoying the kind of videos I'm making, whether it's BF2 with the boys, kill streaks, or these helpful videos, make sure to subscribe. It's completely free, it takes one click, and you can always unsubscribe. And I don't think we need any more of an intro in that, so I think let's just get right into number 12. And number 12 is my Dark Side Blaster hero main, Bossk. So you might be asking the same thing you might have been in part 1 with the Grievous. You know, if he's your main, if he's your blaster main, why is he number 12, not even in part 1? Well, if you did find yourself asking that, I have a very good answer, and I think it applies to not only me, but anyone who watching this video that has played Bossk before. Bossk is super fun, and all 3 of his abilities take out groups, which is why I love him so much. You can kill a lot of people in one ability. But you know what's annoying, and it kind of outweighs what I just said, the good things? Getting killed by a lightsaber hero in 3 seconds. And yeah, of course Bossk is known to die to Anakin in about 3 seconds, but I mean, Luke can do it. Luke's swing speed is insanely fast. Obi-Wan can do it if he can get a mind trick on you. Rey can do it if she can get her mind trick on you, which is just absolutely insane. Bossk literally can't do anything except just jump. But the reason Bossk is really exactly middle of the list is because while he's super fun to play and he can take out large groups and he's just a blast to play, his voice is super cool, everything like that, what weighs him the other way and makes him towards the middle of the list is that you can get killed by a Jedi in 3 seconds without you even getting the chance to react. So that takes us right on to number 13, which is Rey. So starting with the good things, Rey is just super fun to use when you have your insight on. Not only does it give you wall hacks and everyone on your team wall hacks, it also takes you off the minimap, which makes it literally comical how easy it is to sneak up on villains. Her mind trick is super annoying if you're on the other side of it, but if you're Rey doing it to someone, it's super fun to watch them try to move if they're relatively new to the game. And her dash strike is great for just clearing out hallways and rooms and stuff like that. But what makes Rey just average on the list, not horrible, not great, is because she doesn't have that one thing that defines her. You know, Luke, fastest sprint speed in the game, fastest swing speed in the game, fastest health regeneration delay, fastest health regeneration. Anakin, most base health of a light side hero. Obi-Wan, most health regeneration of a light side hero. Yoda, smallest hitbox of a light side hero, and only one that has a heal ability, not counting Finn, of course, because Finn doesn't have a lightsaber. And then Rey, average base health, average health regeneration. Nothing really makes Rey stand out from the rest of the lightsaber heroes, which makes her not horrible on the list, but also not great like top 10. So taking the 14 spot is my light side blaster main, Chewbacca. Now Chewbacca falls into the same thing as Count Dooku, like his abilities just aren't really made for trooper game modes, but Chewbacca does have the advantage of his ground slam, which is actually great for trooper game modes. But as for your spellcaster, it's sometimes hard to hit shots with it, but if it does, it's literally shreds if you can actually get your aim well. And his shot grenade really doesn't do that much in trooper game modes, if you do come across a hero, of course, but that's kind of rare. And the reason Chewbacca is one of the highest ranked blaster heroes on this whole list, counting this video and the last video, is honestly just his base health. 850 base health, more base health than any light side lightsaber hero, other than Anakin, of course. But to go along with his massive base health, he doesn't have great health regeneration though, so he's not absolute tank. He's just a normal tank. Because if you have this star card that gives him damage reduction, the more damage he does, it's honestly pretty hard to die with Chewbacca in trooper game modes if the enemy team isn't just a sweat fest. But what makes Chewbacca kind of not fun to play and why he's not in the top 10 of this list is mainly just because he's a blaster hero. It's nothing personal to Chewbacca, it's just because in Battlefront 2, blaster heroes are just generally worse and less fun to play, in my opinion, than lightsaber heroes. Because no one likes just getting swing spammed and ability spammed, and it's definitely not fun by a lightsaber hero, not only in hero modes, but honestly any mode. Taking us to number 15 is Han Solo. So starting off with some of the good things, I love using Han's Dead Knight charge, and I know I'm not the only one that uses that. He's definitely his best ability. Or Han falls short for me, and I honestly just have a hard time staying alive for a super long time with Han, is just because of his base health. And I know some people are definitely arguing that Han is the best blaster hero in the game, and I completely see why. I'm not arguing that he isn't. I'm just saying he's not, because this obviously isn't a list about best. This is about most fun. He might be the best in the game, but he's not the most fun. But one thing I will say about Han, I love using him in HVV way more than I like using him in any other game modes. So the orange and white bowling ball brings us to number 16, BB-8. So BB-8 is often overlooked just because no one really wanted them in the game. That's perfectly fine reason though. I personally didn't even touch BB-8 or BB-9 until like a month after they were added. But actually, I played BB-8 as kind of a joke, and then I realized actually he's kind of fun to play with. His health regeneration really makes up for that he can't block and that he doesn't have insanely good base health to begin with. But the reason BB-8 isn't higher is just because the only kills you get is the occasional rolling charge kill, and then you're just spamming cable spin. I mean, of course it's fun to kill 10 people with one button, and with a BB unit too, but it's kind of, BB-8, if you play a round that's more than 5 minutes with him, it just starts getting repetitive. So taking the 17 spot is Captain Phasma. And Phasma, I think, falls in the same category as Chewbacca and Count Dooku, not because their abilities are made for HVV more than Trooper game modes. I mean, they kind of are, but not in that way. She falls in their category because I just love playing her in Heroes vs. Villains. She's not one of my top 3 choices, but she's like top 5 choices in HVV. But I just don't really play her in GA or Capital Supremacy at all. I just don't like the concept of you have to camp on a droid. I mean, you don't have to, obviously. There's not a rule that says you don't have to camp on a droid, but what I do like about Phasma is her health. Of course, not her base health. It's only 700. I mean, that's 50 above average for a blaster hero. But just her heal ability is so nice to get you up to over 900 health. And if you have a certain star card, which I highly recommend, if you don't use it, I don't really know what you're doing. It gives you 50% damage reduction while you have her heal on, which is insanity. So Phasma, I'm not saying she's bad. It's pretty easy to stay alive with her as long as you stay with your teammates in HVV. She has great health if you can get her heal on at the right time. But I personally don't even think her staff strikes to be an ability. That should just be her melee. And they should make something new for the LB. I mean, obviously they won't. I'm just saying they should. But overall, Phasma, if this was just a Heroes vs. Villains ranking, she would easily be top 10. But since it's not just Heroes vs. Villains, she has to go up to 17. Taking the 18th spot is FN2187, Finn. So Finn, just like most of the heroes in the bottom part of this list, are super fun in Heroes vs. Villains and hero game modes, but just not that fun in Trooper game modes. If you don't really know what you're doing with Finn in a Trooper game mode, you can die pretty quickly. Even though he has a heal and damage reduction, he just has 600 base health, and his heal doesn't give him an insane amount. So if you don't really know what you're doing with Finn, you're not going to have too much of a fun time, because you're going to be back in the loading screen if you come across pretty much any dark side lightsaber hero. Now taking the 19th spot is Lando Calrissian. So don't get me wrong, I love playing me some Lando. But really, when you match him up with the other blaster heroes that are available, either light side or dark side, he just really comes short when it comes to his primary weapon. I mean, if you got the game a week ago and I've played Lando one time, you'll agree with me on that his gun is a water gun at anything larger than maybe 20 feet in front of you. I mean, like, I would rather prefer just the officer gun, SE-44C, rather than Lando's primary gun. But one rare good thing about his primary gun is actually that it has the night vision. Because sometimes you can catch people off guard if you get a smoke grenade down and then you just shoot them out of the like through the smoke and they don't even see you. That can be pretty nice, but that's kind of a rare situation. It doesn't happen a lot. Another great thing I like about Lando, I mean, I've said this throughout this video and part 1, the more health they have, the more fun they are to play with, because the more health they have, the more time you'll actually be playing with them. Because I'm just going to be honest, if Lando didn't have that nice star card that gives you 800 base health, and if he just had like 700 or something, Lando would be either 22nd place or 21st place. He would be towards the end of the list when it comes to how fun they are to play with. So taking the 20 spot is Princess Leia. Now don't get me wrong, Leia would be no questions asked the worst hero, and when it comes to ranking them how good they are and just how fun they are, so on this list too she would be last, but after she got buffed, she's actually pretty, or at least way more fun than she was. Her rapid fire is super fun, just absolutely shredding it, not even just infantry and anything, just honestly villains too. You can shred a Darth Maul or a Kylo or someone like that. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Leia's bad, I'm not saying she's boring. There's no hero that is boring to play, there's just some that are more fun than others, that's why I made this video. But if in the right spot and in the right map and with the right teammates, in really any mode, Leia can be super fun. So don't get me wrong, just because she's toward the end of this list, that doesn't mean don't even play her if you haven't really tried her out yet. Remember, this is my opinion, and I'm not the same person as you, so you could love Leia. So taking the runner-up of the least most fun hero to play in the game is BB9E. And again, same thing with BB-8. He kind of just gets a bad rap just because no one was really asking for them to be added to the game. But I mean, honestly, they're not that boring to play with. There's been games where I've chosen BB9E, and after it, I've been like, wow, I've been missing out on that. That was actually fun. I mean, a lot of people the first really complaint that comes to people's minds about BB9E of why he's debatably the worst hero in the game is just because of his shock spin. It like throws them away from him when the whole point is he wants to try to kill them, so why does it throw them away from him? That's a perfectly valid response, but that's also from people who don't really know how to use it. You gotta use it in tight spaces, don't just use it out in the open. Or if you do end up using it out in the open, you gotta cancel it once they fly away, so you can actually get back up to them before they get up and then finish them with your shock prod. So I'm not at all saying BB9E is boring to play as, I'm just saying that there's 20 heroes that I would rather play with. So taking the dreaded 22nd place spot, last place, least most fun hero to play, in my opinion, in Battlefront 2 is Iden Versio. Maybe this just comes with how annoying she is to go up against in HPV, how she can literally just press a button, then full auto on your head, and you'll probably be dead. That just makes me hate her, so maybe that's why she's in this part of the list. But I think most of it is just because I don't really find her that fun, to be honest. My Iden is like super low, like level 45 or something. I don't ever play her really. I mean, her pulse cannon is kind of only good if you just want to sit in the back and snipe, which is not something I usually like doing. And I personally, she has nothing related to health besides just a shield, but I mean, that's not really related to health. She has 650 base health, that's just the average health regeneration. There's just really nothing special with Iden. She just kind of seems like you're playing as an infantry except with more health. So sorry Iden players, that's just my opinion. But I still hope you did enjoy the video. If your favorite hero was towards the end of this list, please, it's just my opinion. I know every one of these heroes is someone's favorite hero. But you know, I think this was still a fun video to make. It was definitely a fun video to make. I hope it was a fun 2 videos to watch, because both of them were about 12 minutes. I don't like putting out 25-minute videos. So thanks for stopping by. As always, I am Wiggle Burrito, and I will see you guys in the next one.